Bright April fall, March winds are high, and now sweet bird are here once more. I hear again the cheerful sound among the leaves and flowers gay. And if we had no
How old am I? 94. I'm 95 in July. Awful, isn't it? I never dreamt I'd live to be this age. I was born on a farm. I come from a family of 10. I was the only one really out of the 10 that needed medical treatment. And yeah, I'm the last alive. Mum, oh, she's a lovely cook. Of course, she's a farmer's daughter, you see. I was thin as a rake, and I was ever so tall. And when I was 12, the doctor was coming to school because in those days, when you were 13, if you passed the exam, you could leave school. So the doctor would be at the school. I had a letter to tell my mother to go up on the Friday morning. And when she went, it was because the doctor, the head mistress wanted me to see the doctor because I was so thin. Three of the happiest days I remember when I was young. I should be about 7 or 8, I suppose. My uncle and aunt were quite well off. They hired a coach. It was open top, drawn by horses. And we used to go from Aston, where we lived at that time, right to Berkswell. All down the country road was like a narrow lane. And there used to be a man on with a great long trumpet. I don't know what they called them, but he used to be on the top and he used to blow it on the way, on the top, on the coach. And they were only drawn by horses, no cars, you know. When I first started to work, about, I went to Bird's Custard Place because my brother was there, but I was only there about 2 months. Didn't suit me being indoors like that. So I went back home, and after a short while, my grandmother died and left my father some money, and he bought a shop on the Stratford Road, China and Glass. And so, of course, I served in there. My grandmother was in this house. I only ever saw her dressed up in black silver, and she got a belt with a silver purse hanging on a waistband. And she always gave us 6 each when we went, always. She was a nice old lady, real old lady. I never saw her dressed anywhere else but as a real old lady. On the first spring after the war finished in 1918, they had the Victory of Eastports at the county cricket ground up at Canhill Park. Mind you, it was nothing like it is now, but that was where they held it. The Australian officers hadn't gone back home yet after the war, and they were umpires at the sports, see. And of course it was all crammed with people, and one of the things in it was the ladies' high jump from a low springboard bed like that. And I was in that, of course. I won. I was let in. I won it by 6 foot. And the officers asked me then, would I give a display to show them? So I did. I did up to 6'3". And when I was doing the 6'3", I did it, and of course I all sat. I knocked 6'4" down. But when I went, after I'd done the 6'3", there were 2 officers that were watching us, umpires. The one came to me and he said, here's half a crown, he said. I want you to buy yourself a box of chocolate. You've won me 5 shillings. He said, we bet each other. He bet me that you wouldn't do it. And you have. The man stood in the yard and a big tub, ever such a big washing tub. Mother used to put the blue water in. And when I got home, she'd finished all the washing itself, except the wringing. And I got home about 5 or 10 past 12. And I used to have to start a ring, do the things in this blue water, and then by hand mangle them all. And I did that right till 1 o'clock when I stopped for my dinner. She always put a stew, big stew in a big saucepan, ever such a big saucepan, full of stew on the coal, side of the coal fire, you know, to keep it stewing. And it was lovely by dinner time. And I used to have to do that right until I just got time to have my dinner and go back to school. In those days, shirts, mind you, a shirt used to wear a week in those days, not like they are now. They wear them an hour or two. They used to wear their clothes a week and then put them in the wash. They didn't wash them every day, you know. And Marks and Spencer's only had a 6penny shop in the first place in the Bull Ring. The most expensive thing was a 6pence. And you could buy all kinds of things. You could buy a great big ball for 6pence and anything almost for 6pence in those days. The war broke out when we were on the train going for the day to Gran on the Bank Holiday Monday when it first. We were on the train when it was announced. There was a special paper that came out. And when we bought it on the train, war had started. But I was 16.
Where did you meet your husband then? Can you
At the Dollarburn Athletic Club. And my sister met her husband at the Dollarburn. We both met. But when she was married in the beginning of 1924, and I had the first child there because we got gone into a big house, we got plenty of room. And after that, when the city started building houses, we put our name down for one and we got one at Yardley Wood. I had Edna's home, yes, when I was at home. Beryl I had in the home up Wijgerden Road, Moseley. That's where I had Beryl. Incident, we used to have our presents on the Christmas tree. Mind you, in those days, in your stocking you didn't have things like you do now. You used to have an apple and an orange and some little toys. They were only about 6pence each in those days, lovely toys. The one woman used to come every morning singing along Stratford Road in the gutter, like by the gutter, for either food or coppers because she got nothing. But as a rule, they could go somewhere to have I don't know where they went because I never had to go with them. But a Friday night, I know a lot of them had to wait at home till the father came home with a bit of money. So we were lucky, and we always had enough bedclothes. But they didn't. They had to use the coats and things. And we were lucky. We were only very middle class. But we were never without, although there was such a lot of us. And after I was married, I got the 2 little ones. When Philip started work, the one next to me, I had to do all the shopping, you see, for some years. And there was a lot of shopping to do, you know, for 12 people. Loaves was 2.5 a pound, and they used to weigh them. And if they weren't £2, they used to cut a bit of a new crust. They got a crust to make the weight up for 2.5 £2 loaf. And I always ate the bit of crust on the way home, which was so lovely because it was new. They were tuppence halfpenny, and scones were 2 a penny for the halfpence. When our children were little, we went to Sister Hill. And while we were there, and the sands was there, a plane used to give people rides. I forget how much they charged. And Howard and I, we left the 2 children watching. They said they were frightened to death when they saw us go. And we went for a ride round in the aeroplane. They charged £5 each for it. And we went, they took us round. It was a first experience. Only it was only a 2-seater. They could only take 2 at a time. Swimming. Oh yes, we used to use costumes that came nearly to your knees and right up to your neck. And I was a good swimmer because I'd been, ever since I was 14, I'd been, and there was a man there by me trying to swim, and I said, oh, you mustn't do that, and I told him what to do. He says, are you a channel swimmer? I said, anything but.
Did you have to pay for all your medicines and things when you were growing up? If you wanted anything, did you have to pay the doctor?
When I was a child, yes, at Stratford Road when we were at the shop, and they took me to the doctor's there then. I think it was 6pence. And I went once with Gareth Ping and had to have it lanced. But it was Dr. Chadwick, an old man, he was. But we had to pay, yes. I can't remember when it came cheap, when it was free. When the tram started, the terminuses didn't go far out. Only the tram at Stratford only went the bend of Stony Lane. From there you got to walk. That's where we walked then, up to Happy Valley to the canal, where it was lovely, all done, ready for holiday makers. Every Wednesday evening we used to have a fiddling night. A pianist and another man came with he was first violin, I was second violin, and Mum with the cello. And every Wednesday night was our music night. And we used to start at about 6 o'clock and play till 8:30 and then have a chat and coffee and...
What do you think of today of children with computer games and music?
I think it's all wrong.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it because now we had to learn money, and now you go in a shop and I don't agree with it at all, because I think in a few years' time the brains will go because they're all these computers are doing all the work for them. I don't agree with it at all. I've said all along, children, the brains will go because they're not using the brains, they're using all these computers. To tell you the truth, I'm glad I'm going. I reckon we didn't have much money, I'll grant you, but I reckon we had a better life in these last 100 years as they've had than they're having now, because you could go out at night by yourself and leave the door open. You can't now. So I've had my day, you know. I've had a real good life. But now, the last 2 lives, the last 2 years, I should say, I've come unstuck. And now I'd rather go than live like this. But you can't please yourself, can you?